Good morning, Church at Liberty Park. Today we're in Hosea chapter 2. Now remember that Hosea is a prophet, and a prophet is someone who receives the very words of God, and when he speaks the words of God, it comes with the authority of God himself. And Hosea is prophesying to the northern kingdom. In Romans 1 and 2, we see that the gospel is promised beforehand through the prophets. And Hosea is quoted often in the New Testament. Quoted by Jesus, Paul, Matthew. Now, this picture of adultery that we see in the book of Hosea is really a picture of idolatry in our relationship with God. And here in this chapter, God is speaking to his people who have forgotten him and have worshiped other gods instead of the one true God. And so we see in this chapter not only God's judgment, but also God's mercy. Look at verse 13 and 14. It says, "And I will punish her for the feast days of the Baals when she burned offerings to them and adorned herself with her ring and jewelry, and went after her lovers and forgot me, declares the Lord. Therefore, behold, I will allure her and bring her into the wilderness and speak tenderly to her." In this book of Hosea, we are like Gomer, wayward, wretched, dirty, idolatrous. Do you believe this about yourself? And have you come to terms with your own sinfulness and brokenness before God? Now, the good news of the gospel is that we are more sinful and broken than we would ever like to admit, but at the same time, we are more loved than we could ever imagine. I was reminded of a verse like Romans 5:8, but God demonstrates his own love for us in that while we were still sinners, in other words, while we were like Gomer, Jesus Christ died for us. Have you responded to God's mercy? Have you received God's mercy by turning from your sin and putting your trust in Jesus? And as believers, when we are tempted to depart from God's good design for our lives, we can remind ourselves that we have been bought with the price, the price of Jesus' blood shed on the cross. So Jesus doesn't just save us from our sins, he also saves us to belong to him. Hope you enjoy Hosea chapter 2 today.